Good evening, and welcome to Bountiful Bowls. I'm Barry Krieger, your host tonight. I have served as host for several Bountiful Bowls in the past. So why is tonight different from all other nights? Well, we know at past Bountiful Bowls we could normally be in person together, but tonight we are virtually together. But we do remain connected and united in Rachel's Table's mission to feed the hungry while helping our planet. Tonight, you'll hear how Rachel's Table has exponentially expanded what they do with your help to give an essential gift to help feed the people among us. We will hear stories, listen to music, and honor 3 wonderful community guardians, those who have stepped up to help out before and during this time to make our community a better place. Suze Goldman and Bob and Roberta Bolduc will share their inspirational stories of support. Let's have a look at what it's like for veteran volunteer Steve Lipo on the road with Rachel's Table.
We're here in Westfield at CNS Wholesale Grocers with 74-year-old Steve Lipo, a volunteer driver for Rachel's Table. He's part of a fleet of over 200 volunteers that make food rescue in Western Massachusetts possible. His pickup is one of the many deliveries that Rachel's Table organizes 6 out of 7 days of the week, serving 53 agencies and counting.
These are chicken crack strips.
Finding nutritious foods like lean meats, fruits, and vegetables is a challenge. But Rachel's Table can rely on CNS to fill Steve's car with healthy options every week.
He comes every Thursday. If I have stuff, he'll come other days. He packs the car to the max.
Steve is actually a legacy at Rachel's Table. Both of his parents volunteered here. Steve got his first taste of food rescue over 30 years ago when his parents needed an extra hand. After decades working as an educator, travel agent, and marketing professional, Steve wanted to spend his retirement helping others and thought of none other than Rachel's Table.
Someone's counting, right? This is Gray House. The cars lined up here are lined up in order to get their food for the week, and he feeds 300 to 400 families a week.
And as you guys can imagine with the pandemic, we have seen a surge in need. And so when we partner with agencies like Rachel's Table, all of these organizations help us to continue meeting the surge in need that we've seen.
We have to get going because we got another stop and we got to be there by 11.
Let's do it.
I've been exposed to a lot of organizations, agencies that I never knew existed, and it's been a gratifying experience for me.
I'm Kirsten Levitt. I'm the Executive Director and Executive Chef at the Stone Soup Cafe. And the cafe has just become a partner of Rachel's Table, and we're so grateful. Over the summer, Rachel's Table reached out to us so that we could become partners, and we got milk from you all. And I made a huge amount of paneer that served over 300 people. Today, I got 29 dozen beautiful eggs from Lavana Farm. They were delivered to me yesterday. And a little later in the show, I'll show you what I'm making with it. Bye for now.
Hello, I'm Ellen Gold, the President of the Board of Trustees of Rachel's Table. I am so thankful that you are here with us tonight. Rachel's Table is thankful for your support all year long. Together, we are fighting hunger, reducing waste, and making a difference. There are people, especially now, over a year into one of the worst public health crises of our lifetime, who have to choose between food on the table and paying rent, or keeping the lights on in their home. There are some who have lost their homes, and there are some who have been waiting in food lines, who never thought they would ever have to do so. Rachel's Table has stepped up in so many ways to help, not only with the emergency purchase programs, but by rescuing more food than ever before. We've gone from rescuing 15 to 20,000 pounds of food a month to 70,000 pounds a month or more. One of the reasons I love Rachel's Table is the community we've created over the nearly 30 years we've been around. Each person, whether a volunteer, donor, or part of one of our recipient agencies, helps create our caring community. Thank you for stepping up to support our work to care for others. Thank you for helping us continue doing our work today and into tomorrow. Now let's listen in on a short conversation between one of our founders, Judy Ingus, and our director, Jody Falk.
Judy!
Hey, Jody, how are you?
I am okay, and I hope you are well too. It is always great to see you in person or virtually. There is a lot to say, but only really a little to add, in the sense that we at Rachel's Table have been reducing food waste and alleviating hunger for now almost 30 years. Yet during this pandemic, we've accelerated our operations to meet the need. It's the same mission, but with more poundage, so like 140,000 pounds a month sometimes, more partnerships with New England Dairy, Food Bank of Western Mass, Provision Ministry helps us with Farmers to Families, and more proactive. So we're creating programs like our Growing Gardens program that help people grow their own food. But Judy, it's because of you and some other really amazing forward-thinking women that there is a Rachel's Table here in Western Mass. And during a time in 1992 when food rescue was kind of a new concept for many.
Yes, it was actually in September of 1992 that I traveled to Worcester with Myra Gold, Margie Berg, Patty Belsky, Susanna Sofsky, Liz Kittredge, and Linda Skoll. And we went to find out about this Rachel's Table program in Worcester. And the women there were wonderful. They not only enlightened us about how the program worked, but they gave us all the materials. So if we were going to do this in Springfield, we'd have what we need without having to reinvent the wheel. Get back to Springfield, do a needs assessment, find out, yes, there is a need, that there were plenty of people who were food insufficient and there was good food going to waste. So we got started.
And here we are, almost 30 years later. So to make this little segment here tonight a little more fun, I'm going to do this like the trivia contest that we started the evening out with before 7 o'clock. So what stands out to you as the most interesting and timely food donation you did in the beginning of Rachel's Table in Springfield? Your answers could be: 1, when you sat between piles of bread in your car, not able to see the road as you drove to an agency. 2, when the ceiling fell down in a store in your cohort and you rescued the food before it was too late. Or 3, when there was a deer that ran through the offices of the Federation out the window and just as someone was dispatching. Which one?
Okay, definitely when I was a breadmobile. So I have to thank our dear volunteer, Joe Scanlon from East Long Meadow, who taught me how to load my car. I was able to get 360 loaves of bread, starting with the trunk, then filling the entire back seat, and then filling the passenger seat right up to where I was sitting, sandwiched in. And I was driving down State Street when I was stopped at a car, and a car coming the opposite direction rolled down the window and wanted to know what I was. I was quite a sight because the bread from the back seat had actually also gone on my head. Some fell on my lap. I could see the road though, Jody. I definitely had that vision. And I told them I was a breadmobile, and they thought it was pretty funny. I continued to Holyoke to the Salvation Army there. And when I arrived, I answered the need. Apparently they had just run out of bread and were wondering how they were going to make sandwiches that they needed. Well, with my 360 loaves of bread, they were in good shape. And boy, did I receive blessings that day. Many, many blessings.
That's great. I wanted to say, as a founder, one of the founders, you must be both really proud and also a little bit sad, because we're still trying to feed people and reduce waste even after all these years. But since we're here and we're doing this, what are you the most proud of about Rachel's Table? Number one, our amazing community volunteers. Two, the fact that we are a Jewish response in the face of hunger. Three, that Rachel's Table has teens, nonagenarians, and people of all faiths as part of its community.
Well, those are all great answers, but without a doubt, number one, our amazing volunteers. I've always said that Rachel's Table is a family, and we have volunteers who started with us when we began and still work with us. And I would love to invite anybody else out there who'd like to join us. There's always room at the table. Come join our family. Also this year, we lost a number of our wonderful volunteers, and we were not able to support their families in the way we would have liked to because of COVID restrictions. So every one of our volunteers is meaningful and special. And at the end of our program, we will have a listing of their names.
Important to honor them, and we honor everyone who's part of our family. So thank you for that. Do you have any questions for me?
Yes, I'd like to know what you're most proud of.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm proud that our mission remains the same and is strong. I'm proud that our focus is not only to alleviate hunger, but hopefully to try to eradicate hunger through our Growing Gardens program or our youth working to advocate for change. If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. So we're doing what we can to be a solution or to be a certain part of it. And also the solutions that are initiated by those who are most affected themselves are often the most powerful. So we try to listen and to follow. I'm also proud of the community like you, as you are. We thank all of them, each and every one. And tonight, I just want a special thanks to our UMass filmmakers, Leora and Lily, who made some of the films you'll see tonight, Leora Fasto and Lily Voke, and also to Janice Greenberg of the Inform Group, who created a business overview for us that really helps us tell our story effectively in numbers and graphs, and encapsulates changes we've been going through at this time. Our community also needs to thank you, Judy, and the founders, the women in 1992, who wanted to do a project that did something good for so many. Thank you. I hope we're living up to your goals and your intentions.
So Jody, I have to tell you, you're totally surpassing anything I could have imagined. And truthfully, I need to thank both you and Sarah Maniaci for your incredible daily efforts. The work that you do is amazing. And I also would love to just take a minute to congratulate this evening's honorees, Suze Goldman and Roberta and Bob Bolduc. I have known all of them a long time. I know Suze since 1978. She actually sat on my board of the Federation, which brought the Rachel's Table program here. And Roberta I met in 1980 as a member of the Junior League. And I believe I met Bob when I met their daughter, Kathleen. These three individuals are the most amazing role models. They have such inspired leadership for all of us, and their generosity is beyond compare. We are so fortunate to have them in our community, the work that they do. So thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you, Judy, and thank you everyone out there watching today.
When life catches you off guard, you need simple ways to stay calm.
It's a boy.
When life takes you in new directions, you need simple ways to open doors. When life slows you down, you need simple ways to keep things humming. When life gets real, you need a bank that keeps things real simple. At People's Bank, we keep banking simple because real life is complicated enough. People's Bank. Real simple banking.
Hi, I'm Sarah Maniaci, Associate Director of Rachel's Table, and I'm here today with Suze Goldman. Suze is an adjunct professor of psychology at Elms College. She's had a psychotherapy practice for 40 years, dealing with individuals, couples, and families in trauma-informed therapy. As president of the Jewish Federation of Western Mass from 2015 to 2017, Suze focused on inclusivity and bringing all communities together. Suze's background as a social worker has enabled her to blend her great compassion and desire to help others and make our world a better place. She loves a project, and that is where we begin. Suze, thank you so much for your wonderful partnership with Rachel's Table. I remember when I first moved here, you were one of the very first people that I met, and I thought this is going to be such a great place. Your compassion and warmth made me really feel like I was part of the community. You're a mover and a shaker and have been involved in our community for many years. We're lucky to have your support.
Thank you.
At Rachel's Table. One of the signature programs of Rachel's Table during the pandemic was Feeding the Front Lines. This was created by you. Can you tell us how this came about?
Feeding the Front Lines was an initiative we developed to nurture our frontline workers, hospital-based and long-term care-based. And it was developed really through an epiphany I had after returning from a trip to Mexico, watching the unfolding of this horrible pandemic. I came back and people were terrified and we didn't know what to do. We didn't know how this was transmitted. So immediately I thought to myself, I need a mask. How can I get one? They're not available. I happened to be in touch with somebody, a Facebook friend whose wife was making masks, and we made a match. And I purchased masks from him, and we sold them out of my house. And because of the care I wanted to have, I had them all in a clean white bag, and the heart became our iconic image. But it took many people to put this together. At the beginning of the initiative, I called Bobby Barquette at the kitchen and I said, Bobby, can we work something out so that healthcare workers can get individual, carefully sanitized meals and then be distributed? Bobby was on board immediately. I was in touch with Zach Schwartz, who was making signs and so graciously agreed to donate a wonderful percent of his proceeds to the Rachel's Table Feed the Front Lines. But not to forget Cindy Lutz Cornett, a local artist. I reached out to Cindy and I said, Cindy, I'm pushing out this effort. Can you help me? Can you design a piece of art I can use as art image on Facebook and other means? And she said, graciously, she created this the next day. So it was a wonderful, really coming together of disparate people in the community because they cared. Why did I bring it to Rachel's Table? Because it's so important to me that the Jewish community represents and stands for tikkun olam, repairing the world, helping people of need. And although these healthcare workers weren't so needy for the food, for the sandwich, for the cannoli, they were in need of nurturance. And I hope, and I believe we did give them that.
So Suze, it was such a wonderful enterprise. Food is love, and we help sustain those who sustain us. And we were able to bring this program to Hampshire, Hampden, and Franklin counties. Another wonderful project was Lily's Fruit Fund. Can you tell us about that?
Lily's Fruit Fund was an inspiration to me through my mother, who's been gone since 1963. But her firm belief is that children need fresh fruit. And the price of fruit now is horrible. And this came to me really after spending time with my grandchildren when I saw that the price of an apple or an orange was $1, $1.50. I was scandalized. So I was inspired to initiate this fund, and I hope that we will do it again at a future date. And there is nothing more delicious than seeing a child bite into a fresh orange or apple.
So Suze, in addition to the tangible ways, how does our work help our community?
The work that we do at Rachel's Table is an inspiration to all of us to look back at our texts, our historic texts, where we are mandated to be there for one another.
Susie, thank you for being the change maker that you are and for inspiring us as well as others to keep making a difference. For that, Rachel's Table has something that we hope grows over time to bring renewal, beauty, and hope.
Oh, thank you. You know I love my gardens.
I know.
And this is lovely, and I will nurture it just as Rachel's Table nurtures so many people in our world.
Oh, thank you for everything. Pleasure.
Hi everybody, it's State Senator Eric Lesser here, and I just want to say a hearty mazel tov, congratulations, and thank you to Rachel's Table, to the incredible board, the teen board, the incredible volunteers that keep Rachel's Table going, and a thank you for the Bountiful Bowls event this year, of course, in a virtual format. You know, this has been obviously just an extraordinary time, and it's been a very, very hard year for people, year plus for people, and Rachel's Table has been right there delivering record amounts of food, advocacy, fighting for food security, going beyond the donations, which are significant and make a very big impact for people, but also in the world of advocacy and really changing laws and changing policies to help fight hunger and to help lift our community members. So just want to say thank you. This has been an absolutely, of course, just extraordinary year. We are looking forward to brighter days already here and coming ahead, and Rachel's Table is going to be there every step of the way, as it always has been, through thick or thin, to get food, to get hope to people, to make sure that nobody in our community is hungry, and to change the laws and policies that lead to food insecurity and lead to hunger in the first place. So I just want to say a hearty thank you, mazel tov, and I'm looking forward to continued partnership and hard work in the months and years ahead to make sure that we can continue to do everything we can to fight hunger, to mobilize and to support and to thank our volunteers and community partners, and to make sure that no child, no family, no person in our community or in any community is going hungry or is lacking something to eat. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Lesser. And thank you, Susie, for all you have done for Rachel's Table and for our community. Susie shared with us the reason to step up, because there's no reason not to. We are in this together, and for some of us, the road is harder than for others. So if you have a few minutes and a little to spare, please consider donating to Rachel's Table. The link will be in the chat at the end of the evening, or go to Rachel's Table's website, rachelstablepv.org. PV because they serve the entire Pioneer Valley. We are thankful, by the way, for all the sponsors of this event. Our sponsors are important and help Rachel's Table do the important work it does every day to alleviate hunger right here in Western Massachusetts. Up next, let's listen to some audio art from our community. Students and staff of the Community School of Springfield performing John Legend's Glory, a piece they did for the Martin Luther King Day celebration this year, and then see what our youth at the Rachel's Table Teen Board wants to share.
One day, when the glory comes, it will be ours, it will be ours. Oh, one day, when the war is won, we will be sure, we will be sure. Oh, glory, glory,
I'm walking the glory, talking the glory, living the story. So many ain't for me, but I march on and tell them look on me. Cause, look, my skin is a crest, I wear it the best. I really like people, but I don't settle for less. Come on, break out, I'm filled with the best, say less. Yeah, with God on our side, we march in the present time. We respect our elders' grind, but this time, it's mine, it's mine. Come on, make it personal, it's mine. See, we march in the present time, and this time, it's mine.
one day, when the glory comes, it will be ours, it will be ours. Oh, glory, 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 glory. Now the war isn't over, victory isn't won. We'll fight on to the finish. When it's all done, we'll cry glory, oh glory, glory, oh glory, glory.
I have a dream that one day all will be treated as equal in the image of God, not as a man-made sequel. I have a dream that one day together we'll take a stand. Shoulder to shoulder, we will pray for this land. I have a dream that one day our skin color won't matter. That we live with our hearts and no blood will splatter. Across streets and fields, we'll all recognize it's not how we look on the outside, but it's time to value our lives.
One day, when the glory comes, it will be ours, it will be ours. Oh, glory, we will be sure, oh, glory.
Rachel's Table Teen Board, led by co-presidents Megan Pinter and Anthony Marino, represent the future of food justice. Ranging from middle to high school, their members are on a mission to educate themselves about food insecurity, inspire others to act, and empower the community to make lasting change. It's all about getting the youth involved, planting seeds for the future, and growing support that will nourish these food justice programs for years to come. Building off of the 14-year-old Gleaning program,
Rachel's Table is expanding their efforts to create food equity with the Growing Gardens Project. This project will support any of the 53 agencies that want to grow gardens on their sites.
This all started like last year. I just had an idea and I brought it up to Jody and our Rachel's Table board and asked if this could possibly be a thing. And it's super exciting that it is a thing and that it's happening today. So we're donating plants. And here we're planting some of them, are working on it. We're going to be planting at 2 different agencies and donating to the other 5 agencies here in Springfield, because Springfield is considered a food desert, so they don't have access to affordable, healthy foods. So that's why we're trying to make the system more equitable by planting their own veggies.
So this starter plant donation that happened today, 640 plants to 7 agencies, is the beginning of our Growing Gardens program, where we're going to support in materials and some labor and certainly mentoring any of our 53 agencies that want to begin their own garden. So people can grow their own food, they can have direct access to healthy, nutritious food that they themselves decide it's time to grow and that they want to grow. We're really excited to start this program. We're really excited to not only feed the need, but shorten the line in order to create programs that help people have complete direct access, their own choice, and their own vision for what they want to have in their bodies for the future. We're really excited.
Rachel's Table is so grateful to Arbella Insurance Foundation for all of their support. Thank you.
Hi, I am Judy Yaffe, and I am Vice President of the Board of Rachel's Table. I dispatch for Rachel's Table also, and sometimes I get to work with our next guest's business. As a matter of fact, it was because I walked into his corporate office one day and talked to him about food waste and feeding the hungry that Bob Bolduc of Pride Stores joined the roster of 60 food donors at Rachel's Table. Today, Bob is joined by his wife, Roberta. Together, they make a team of philanthropists and community guardians, helping our community in so many ways. Bob has worked to support efforts in education, hunger, homelessness, community policing, and so much more. Roberta is at present on the board of Ronald McDonald House. She is an ex-board member of Bay Path College, and so many more in her work in education, sports, especially the U.S. Golf Association, and the local arts community. Together, they have supported Mary Ann's Kids, a special fund that provides opportunities for foster children under CHD. Bay State Health, Mercy Hospital, Brightside, Sisters of St. Joseph, and Elms College. This is just part of the list. They both are ardent supporters of Christina's House, one of Rachel's Table's recipient agencies, and partners to end hunger and homelessness. Bob and Roberta, a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you. Nice to be. Thank you for having us. Well, Roberta and I have always believed in giving back. And we both come from this community, and we're fortunate to be able to do it now, and we see the need here. We work with that all the time, and so it's, for us, it's just a natural.
And so, in Roberta, you know, you're a team.
Well, we try to be. We do.
Most of the time.
I think one of the things that Bob and I both have believed in over the years is the phrase learn, earn, and return. And we had our time to learn, and we had our time to earn, and now, it is our time to return, and that's what we want to focus on.
And I understand that you have your own kitchen.
We do. Yes, we do. That's we started it maybe 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And we have all local people. They come in every day and they make fresh foods, fresh sandwiches and salads, and grinders and parfaits and puddings and our own bakery, I'm sorry to say.
I know both of you work in the community, and I'm just wondering, an important question that I have is, where are you seeing needs and what needs to be changed with all the food insecurity that we're seeing?
And so the solution clearly to me is it has to go through education in the family and in the schools. And we actually need a national program, a Springfield program and a national program to educate these young people to eat healthy. Because if we don't, the ads on TV are going to take over.
Well, thank you both. This is only a small part of what you both do for our community. We are really blessed to have you both as honorees and as inspirations to so many to step up and give back. So, I have a little present for you and I understand that we have a gardener in our midst who loves flowers. So, perfect. Bob and Roberta, this is for you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank you so much.
It's living, and I hope it lives all summer for you. And
I'm sure it will. I'm sure it will. Thank you very
enjoy
much.
it.
Thank you. That's lovely.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Our pleasure, and
well,
it was wonderful speaking with you.
Well, the
And
pleasure
thank
is
you
ours.
for what you do.
Congratulations to what you have done over the years.
Yes.
Bob and Roberta Bolduc, tireless leaders in our community, love that learn, earn, and return. If we all did that, think, what would our world be like? We can all make a difference, and this is an opportunity to do so. Return your blessings and give back to your community. Click on the donate button at the end of this event or go to the Rachel's Table's website. Another way to make a difference is to change legislation, to work towards a day where there is not a need for a Rachel's Table or any food program, because we found ways to alleviate poverty. Our next guest, Congressman Jim McGovern, has a lot to offer on changing lives in our state and our country. Let's listen.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for inviting me to speak to you tonight. I want to recognize the advisory board and staff of Rachel's Table, the Professional Advisory Council, and the Jewish Federation of Western Massachusetts for the incredible support you provide, not just for Rachel's Table, but for our hunger and poverty alleviation throughout our community. Too often when we hear about hunger, it's about some other people in some other place. But the sad truth is that there are people all across Massachusetts and all across this country, the richest nation in the history of the world, who will go to bed tonight hungry. In fact, the COVID-19 pandemic has turned what was a hunger crisis into a hunger catastrophe, increasing the number of food insecure families by millions and putting even more Americans just one missed paycheck away from food insecurity. My message to you tonight is that hunger is a political condition. This is something we can solve if we wanted to. Now think about it. Hundreds of billions of dollars worth of food is wasted every year, even as our neighbors don't have enough to eat. We have enough to feed everyone. We have the money and we have the tools and we have the experts to end hunger. What we lack is the political will to do something about it. Things weren't always like this. In 1968, CBS aired an hour-long documentary called Hunger in America that chronicled the growing malnutrition and hunger crisis across America. My longtime friend and mentor, 1972 presidential candidate and then Senator George McGovern, no relation, was watching, and he sprang into action. Reaching across the aisle to Republican Senator Bob Dole, he worked in a bipartisan way and actually built the political will in Congress to address the issue. Things started to get better. Hunger started to subside. Sadly, by the time I got elected in 1996, years of budget cuts that demonized poor families and anti-hunger programs had taken their toll and led to a dramatic increase in the number of people who didn't have enough to eat. My point here is that ending hunger is not just a moral responsibility, it's within our reach. And that's why I'm so grateful to all the incredible volunteers and sponsors of Rachel's Table. By partnering with dozens of food donors and recipient agencies and rescuing tens of thousands of pounds of food a month, you're making sure that no food goes wasted and no person goes hungry. You are making a huge difference here in our community. But just as importantly, you're reminding us that hunger is a solvable problem if we work together. Your work in promoting legislation, supporting food justice, and activating community leaders to unite and not only feed the need, but shorten the line is making a profound impact. The access you are providing to healthy food in all of your programming, including gleaning and growing gardens, is a step toward food security for all. You're insisting that we do better, and for that, I cannot tell you how thankful I am. I will be wind at your back, working to build the political will to end hunger in America, just as I know you will be with me as I continue to fight for food justice and equity here in Massachusetts and across the country. Thank you.
Rachel's Table has been rescuing and redistributing food in the Pioneer Valley for nearly 30 years. But where does that food go? Christina's House, a transitional home for women and children in Springfield, is one of the 53 agencies that Rachel's Table supports. Each week, Rachel's Table provides bread, produce, dairy products, and pantry staples to the families here.
When you don't have to worry about food being put on the table, it just makes a huge difference. It's a huge boulder that's lifted off of someone's back when they know that they have the basic necessity of life.
We were lucky enough to catch the moms working with personal chef and caterer Ronelle Richardson, learning meal planning strategies and healthy cooking tips.
It's tortellini soup.
Ooh. She's an awesome cook, by the way.
I put some of this in there already.
I can't take credit for it.
With the food provided by Rachel's Table, the moms are able to fill their bellies as well as practice healthy living.
Gosh, this smells so good. This is so healthy, too.
The city of Springfield is a food desert. Healthy, nutritious options are not readily available, and when they are, the price difference is tremendous. Thanks to community support and your donations, Rachel's Table has been able to transition donations from breads and pasta to fresh produce and protein. In addition to teaching healthy kitchen skills, Chef Ronelle hosts a nutrition class for the women once a month, teaching them how to incorporate these healthy foods into their lives without breaking the bank.
So every dollar, every gift, every minute of time that's given to help Rachel's Table is making a greater impact in your community, and we're just so grateful.
$1 donated to Rachel's Table puts 4 meals on the plates of people who need it most. Please consider a donation at www.rachelstablepv.org.
Hi there, Kirsten Levitt, Stone Soup Cafe. Remember I told you about those eggs earlier? Well, today they're being made into this amazing goat cheese butternut frittata. We got butternut from the CDC and goat cheese from a local farmer. We're so blessed to have so many places that support our nonprofit and helping people eat. Let me show you a finished one. Here it is, ooey gooey and bubbly. Gonna be delicious for today's lunch. I really wish I could feed you. You know, here at the Stone Soup Cafe, we invite you to come and eat with us every single Saturday. When we're not in a pandemic, we all sit down together. But during the pandemic, you can come down and pick up at curbside or have meals delivered to you. Again, I want to thank Rachel's Table for being a partner with us and helping us feed hundreds of people every week. See ya.
one thing you can say for sure. Not only have Bob and Roberta Bolduc and Suze Goldman stepped up and made a difference, Rachel's Table has also stepped up and met the moment. Hunger won't go away after the vaccine is in everyone's arms, and we know that Rachel's Table, with your help, will be there to continue to feed people while also doing what it can to make hunger obsolete. At this time, the Rachel's Tables board would like to say goodbye, as we also put up the donation link in the chat, so you can give tonight to help Rachel's Table help so many in Hamden, Hampshire, and Franklin counties. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for your support. Stay healthy and safe.